I am really delighted to be here today, and I take this opportunity to thank the organizers of this meeting for calling what I deem to be one of the most important events in the last few days of the year. I thank you all for also inviting the APP Sobeya party to participate in it. I would not go through the litany of woes that afflict this nation that have been so eloquently described by the speakers before me. We all know that the Gambia is suffering from a very serious malaise. Wanton waste of limited and precious resources, a system of yekalante in which all national resources are more or less dedicated for those at the top at the expense of those at the bottom. A government of misfits, squared pegs in round holes, a crumbling infrastructure, a struggling Dallas, especially against all major currencies, rising cost of living for which the government seems to have no remedy for, acute corruption that is strangling this country, a crumbling healthcare and education system that is not fit for purpose, and the list goes on and on. Our country is in a crossroads. What do we do about it? I think the current state of affairs calls for every single Gambian to step on the plate, to come and say, I am going to fight for my country. For me, that is the reason why I had to resign my job to come and play my part. But we all do have roles to play to make sure that we take our country back and put it firmly on the path for economic development and prosperity. And that is why people are calling for a system change, because the system that we have has produced terrible results for the Gambian people. Yesterday I was in Banjul talking to some youths, and I just wanted to put in very clear statistical terms where we stand vis-a-vis the rest of the world, so that they would understand what we're dealing with. I told them that the latest Human Development Report, the Human Development Index, shows that Gambia ranks 174th out of 191 countries that have been assessed. Many of them held their heads in shame. Why? Because we are beating only 17 countries. I think we can do better. Gambians have walked all over the world and have developed other countries. I am glad to just repeat the statement by my dear friend here, Myla Ture. The CCS would be happy. But here is a Gambian who left this country, went to the United States, and has achieved extraordinary things. Imagine a Gambian serving as vice president for the entire education board of a state, managing a budget of over $500 million. That is commendable. But this is what we do. We develop other countries. Why can't we come and develop our own country? I was privileged to have worked for the United Nations during my much younger days, say in East Timor, in which many of the sectors were controlled, reformed, organized, and improved by Gambians. I recall meeting the Prime Minister one day, and he told me, "You people from that tiny country, you are here controlling my country." I smiled and said, "Behold the power of education." But we're doing it outside and not in Gambia. And that is why it is important for us to pave the way for Gambians to be able to come back home. And also for capable Gambians who are here but are in the fringes of the system to be able to come onto the system and work and develop our country. But unfortunately, the only lawful way we have is through the ballot box. But we are a divided opposition. And a divided opposition could spell disaster for our aspirations, for our ambitions to change the system. And that is why it is imperative that we come together. But even the processes that are aimed at bringing us together are also fragmented. I think it helps. It goes without saying that unity is strength. It is important that these processes are brought together under one banner for the purposes of saving this country. We all do say, country first. We all must think Gambia. But when we say it, do we really mean it? Are we saying country first for everybody else except me? So we have to do a deep soul searching, all of us, and ensure that when we say country first, we mean country first. And this brings me to the question of what kind of coalition are we thinking of putting together? Yes, we all need to come together. But coming together does not mean come to me. And it has to be very clear to all